The next space traveler Kana focused on this barber problem like this. When she started lighting, she was definitely a problem kid. However, seniors didn't give up teaching her. Through speech activities, she learned not only English, but also the warmest people who supported her. She said, I can be standing here this bright stage thanks to people around me. Today, she will deliver her speech for all of her precious friends.
Now, we are ready for departure. Please make sure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. Let us welcome today's third space traveler. The third space traveler is Miss Kana Tagawa from Tsuda University. She will deliver her speech under the title of Wake Up, You're Sleeping Lion. Wake Up, You're Sleeping Lion. So, Miss Tagawa, please come up to the stage and launch your rocket to the frontier.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies and distinguished judges and organizers from my bottom of my heart. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Last month, I had a survey of you. To make a good impression and land the job, I acted like a smart student. However, subconsciously, those expressions, それな, すごい, or やばい, popped up in my head. And when the interviewer suddenly asked some harsh questions, I dropped the bomb. Yes, I agree with your idea because I めっちゃ sympathize with. Oh my gosh, I was nervous too, but slangs coming out my mouth during a former job interview? As my interviewer pulled his side, it finally came to my attention that always using the same verbal expressions isn't a good idea. Some of you might laugh at my story, but please look back at your experience. Do you want to say words like それな, すごい, or やばい? Do you come up with other conversational expressions? When you want to please somebody, when you see beautiful sceneries, or when you hear, I am actually Hollywood actress, can you convey your feelings without saying the word すごい? Yes, we overuse informal words. Today, I'd like for everyone to wake up their potential of utilizing and spreading more verbal expressions to build better relationships in the future. We students have learned so many words in the 20 years. Generally speaking, college graduates know about 50,000 Japanese words. Can you imagine what percentage of words we actually use? 60%? 80%? No, the majority of us only uses 2% of our vocabularies, using only about 1,000 words in a day. Our situation seems like a sleeping lion. We potentially have great power to utilize our words. Yet, most of us unconsciously use the same expressions every day. As I said, I have dropped bombs so many times before. Even in front of my 85-year-old grandmother, I use slang like this. Hey, he, the first speaker, seemed to have bubble tea over there. Do you want a habiru instead of drinking bubble tea? Also, during the part-time job in grocery store, I said to little boy who nearly fell, "야바이요!" instead of "we're just dead." Both my grandmother and the boy didn't understand me at all. I guess you have had similar experience, such as fiercely saying to your senior, "Yes, I want to do it," during the grab activity, right? Thank you. So we always use the same expressions like this, even though we know so many words. But why has that happened? It is because we have hardly ever had opportunities to watch the over twists. We prefer to be in our comfort zone and use vague words in our daily conversations. However, if we continue this way, we unconsciously damage our overexpressions. According to research by Tomoko Imai, who is a professional communication consultant, if a client overuses superficial words, most businessmen do not only point those words out, but also lower the vibration for them. Like this, you might be blind to how people are looking down on you and vice versa. So, how do you choose suitable words? There are 3 steps. Grasp the words that you overuse. Input expressions for situations for using, and then output what you input. For the first step, ask yourself if you have habitual sayings. After taking the words by either recalling or asking your friends what you always say, please write those words down. Then, try not to use these words as often anymore. Next, input as many expressions as possible with illustrative sentences by reading books and watching TV dramas. If you find some other places that were used, please write them down again. Lastly, please implement these words in your daily conversations at least more than 5 times. According to Takashi Saito, 5 times is required to master and use such phrases naturally. So, let me introduce my case of vocabulary training program. After taking my common words like "sugoi," then I take notes on the phone as a reminder not to use that word as much as possible. To input words, I choose the classics like "crime and punishment" and "otan." In such books, you can find copious expressions in which your everyday understanding like uses for each phrase. Also, I can train by watching TV dramas or even manzai. These are good textbooks to know the different vocabulary styles in a character's conversations. I like those so much that I remember the line of actors, and I can easily take those lines in my conversations. Unlike before, I make some effort to put as many expressions as possible by reading books and watching TV dramas. And I can easily, watching TV dramas. And using polite words with others and not just superficial words like yabai. By doing so, I can create refreshing changes in my relationships. And do you remember how I ruined my job interview battle? Well, recently, I got another job interview. And this time, I was able to use more meaningful words that were really dominant in my mental dictionary. The interviewers were quite impressed at me, and I landed the job. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be like my past self anymore. All of us know so many words, but sadly, those words end up living inside of us. But we have the power to become aware of real words, creating new ones every day. We have the power to expand our way of talking, making strong relationships with others. We have the power to wake up our living lion, our undiscovered selves. Our words are beginning to come out of our minds. Yes, you are going to hear your living lion roar. Thank you.
Next is the question and answer period. Mr. Fosca, please.
Thank you very much for your inspiring speech. My first question would be, why do you think we only use 2% of our vocabulary here in Japan?
Why
Yeah, why do you think, or what did your research show, why only 2% is used?
The research shows that 2% of we only use 2% of our vocabularies. But why? Why? I personally think the reason that I only use 2% is we overuse the same expressions in a day, so that's why the 2%.
Okay, thank you. So recently the Shuri Castle burned down. Recently the Shuri Castle burned down in Okinawa. Can you can use Japanese, can you tell me your reaction to that news?
Can I use Japanese?
In Japanese, I want to hear you use proper expression.
Okay, can I use in Japanese?
I think so, yes.
Thank you very much.
So I want you to show me how not to use yabai. Many people might say, yabai ne, for that. So please show me how I should react when I see that news to like a coworker.
Okay. 首里城が燃えてしまいましたで、とても驚きました。とてもびっくりしました。Not using the やばい。Oh, it's やばいじゃなくて、首里城が燃えてしまいました。本当にそれは驚くべきことだと思います。
Thank you very much. All right, so my next question would be, do you think, are there any steps we can take so that future generations can avoid this yabai, sugoi, mecha mecha problem? So what can we do to sort of stop this from happening for maybe my son's generation or even further?
Okay. Generally, even young mother or young father uses the slangs such as yabai or sugoi or something like that. So we have to use more proper words in front of, especially in front of our children in the future.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pasca and Ms. Tagawa.